So down here in the great state of Texas, the cell phone ban is in effect for all public schools in all districts. And there are mixed reactions with the parents. Most of the kids, they hate it, but you got mixed reactions with the parents. And we're going to get into it real quick, and then I'll give you my take on it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
As families get ready to head back to school, a new state law is in effect prohibiting personal electronic devices during school hours. The ban includes cell phones, tablets, smartwatches, headphones, and earbuds from the first bell to the last bell, including lunch and recess. Policies are still being put in place for some of the districts out there. KPRC2's Daniela Guzman spoke to parents and students who feel strongly about the change.
Now, just remember, when we were growing up, that we didn't have cell phones. I don't think cell phones really came into prominence down here for us broke people until about maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, around about that time. I'm gonna say about the late 90s because I remember having a cell phone, and we used to be charged by the minute, or a text message be charged by the text back in the day. So it's like, man, don't call me before 7 o'clock, because you get like free nights and weekends. And so people wouldn't really talk that much in the daytime, which, looking at it, psychologically and stuff, hell, that might be the best thing because we're on these things 24/7. But then again, can't talk too much against it because that's what I do my business through with everything. I pay my bills, do my work, do all my work on my cell phone. So really can't trip on that. But I'm just saying, especially for like these kids, man. But let's get into it.
Maybe I'll say all emojis sent.
Are you going to send them to school, the first day of school, with their smartwatch?
Yes, I am. Until we're going to protect kids more than guns, my children are always going to be able to contact me in an emergency.
Mom to two Houston ISD students, Christine Hurley, is pushing back on the new Texas personal electronics ban that starts September 1st. Christine has a fourth and second grader, both strapped with smartwatches now to track and message when she wants.
We wanted to be able to communicate with them during the day, like mostly if there's an emergency at school, we wanted them to be able to contact us.
The statewide ban includes personal cell phones, tablets, smartwatches, headphones, and earbuds.
I can understand that. The problem is children don't know how to moderate themselves. A lot of adults don't either. But if they have a smartwatch, especially at that age, you're talking about doodling. Heck, where I work at, a lot of times you have to tell grown folks, employees, man, hey, gotta put the cell phone down. They be on there like video conferencing with their kids and their parents and their mama. They be talking to them all while they're working. And it's like really, like, how does that? I don't understand that. And the first thing they say is, I need to get in contact with my kids. Why are you watching your kids 24/7? Are they that bad to where you had to have a camera on them? It's bad enough to have a camera on them at all times, but now you have to sit there and watch them the whole day while you are supposed to be at work, and they are either supposed to be at school or they're supposed to be at home watching cartoons and eating sandwiches and cookies, or at the grandma's house, but you feel you need to watch them 24/7. That's where the problem starts out right there. It'd be mothers. It'd be a lot of mothers. That'd be the ones that do it the most. They be talking, we women. They talking to their kids or they talking to their mama all day. And this is at probably, let me see. I ain't gonna say the places that I've worked at recently. No, a couple of them. You see that. So like I say, it starts with the parents. And they can't, but I remember growing up, I remember I used to call my dad at work every now and then just see how he doing, for no reason. And I'm quite sure he was like, man, what does he want now? Because the parent, you want to hear from your kids, but then you don't want to hear from them all the time. But then like even now when they call you, hell, even if your woman call you, most, out the blue sometimes you be like, oh man, what's going on? Especially like if she's supposed to be at work or at home or someone getting ready to go to work and then she call you like, what the heck is going on? Instead of texting, you know what I'm saying? They call and say, oh, nothing. Just, then I'm leaving like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But yeah, I think there needs to be some moderation. So it's hard for kids to moderate, especially when your parents are not moderating. If you have a smart watch that to where you can only make emergency calls, maybe let that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe let that happen to where like it has to be like a special code or something like that, just to make sure that's all they can do. Now, if that's all they can do, and not be able to get on social media, not be able to get on, internet in any way, shape, or form. The only thing they can do is call the parents, which means most likely they're only gonna call when there's an emergency, because the parent gonna be like, look here, don't call me unless something crazy happening. If ain't nothing crazy happening, don't call me all day because I'm at work. But if you can't do that, then they don't need the devices.
House Bill 1481 gives school districts power to set limits on device use during class to help curb the constant distractions and disruptions to learning.
My initial reaction was, well, good. I understand. I didn't have a phone when I was in school, and we did just fine. But after I thought about it more, I'm against it. I want to be able to, speak with our child if we need to.
Around the dinner table, Russell and Aaron Piper told me they just got their 6th grader Lainey a new phone 2 months ago, specifically for her to take to her new middle school across town.
I don't disagree that phones are an issue and they need to not be out during school. The kids should not have access to them, but how to address that issue should be up to the schools and the school districts.
And while
you also, you want to know how to compromise this? Because I get it. The problem is there is there is a medium. There is a medium on this. Get your child a jitterbug phone or a flip phone. What's some things you call a track flip phone? If you are really concerned about talking to your kid when an emergency happens, put away put away the phones that have, like I said, the internet, the social media, where they can post and talk about each other and bully each other and stuff like that and ruin each other's lives. Just let them, the only way they can go to school is just take a track phone. That'll solve that will be a happy medium for everybody. So that way, if all you want to do is talk to your kid, if you need to talk to your kids for something important, they'll call you, and then they will minimize the calls, because track phones. Do they still make track phones? I got a track phone in my room right now that I never opened. I think I had that sun gun for about 10 years. At least 7 years. About at least 7 years. And I ain't never opened it. I need to go find that sun gun. But anyway, yeah, that's the best way to, to meet each other halfway. You know what I'm saying? You want to take the bill out or put the bill in, but if you keep the bill, but if you feel you need to talk to your kids that bad, get your track phone. See, and they're talking about this family, the parents are saying they just got their kids a daughter, I guess it's a daughter, a cell phone in 6th grade. I did that with my oldest. Like when she was younger, she couldn't get a phone. Then when she got the first phone, it was a track phone, a flip phone. That's the first phone she got in junior high. Kids, she probably used to make fun of this and the third, but I was the kind of person who said, I need to see how she reacts with it. Just having one. And then as time went on, she got a better phone, as time went on. Now my youngest, because me and her mama wasn't together by the time, she was in junior high here, she had already had like an iPhone in elementary, and I didn't like it, and stuff like that. Didn't approve of it, but hey, it is what it is. She wasn't living in my house, but she was here. My thing is like them taking it to school. I just think it's just too much of a distraction.
many schools have not said how they will enforce this new law. 2 of the largest districts in our area just released their policies and enforcement plans. HISD says the first offense, the device will be confiscated and returned to parents after school. The same goes for the second and third offense, except the device will be held a longer period of time. The policy is similar for Thorpe and ISD students, except the district says parents have to pay a fee to the school when the device is retrieved. The ban includes no devices during lunch and recess. And although it can be tough to adjust at first, Some students say they now see the benefits after experiencing the no devices rule last year at their school.
There was a change during lunch and community times because most people would just be staring at their phones during lunch and community time, but now people are having more interactions and talking to others.
Attention all students and teachers.
I've been asking for feedback from Houston parents on social media, and from all the parents that I spoke to, the number.
You see how that boy, he just flipping through that watch? That's all they're going to do. It's entertaining. Kids like to be entertained. They are easily entertained with a lot of colors, a lot of movement. Think about it. When you were younger, when you went to school, you walked into class, you saw crayons, you saw train pictures, you saw ABCs across the side of the walls. You saw in different colors, numbers, 1, 2, 3s, books everywhere. The chairs are all different colors. It was just vibrant to stimulate and get the brain moving. As we got older, we got the classes were just the walls brick. I think the walls were like concrete or brick. I think they were concrete. You just had a green blackboard, good Lord, a green chalkboard. The desk was all the same colors, looked the same, made the same. It was just bland. But like I said, so with these kids and he got this watch, you saw they had like a bunch of emojis. It was colorful. And he just scrolling through it, just having a gay old time. But it don't take much to keep kids happy and to stimulate their minds. This is why I feel, like I said, they don't need them at that age.
Number one reason parents want their kids to have a device with them at school: communication during a possible emergency.
My biggest fear is obviously a school shooting.
And all the worst case scenarios are just going through my head.
And you want to be able to contact your parents if you needed to.
Yeah, so that's why this is sort of also a stress reliever.
Yes, there are exceptions to the ban. Devices can be used if there is documented medical need signed by a physician.
Now you might think, how in the heck you need a device for a medical need? I mean, let's say if a child is diabetic and they have the diabetic app on their phone, maybe, but they also got something because they got that little thing that they stick in their arm to where like they check their blood sugar throughout the day, or alarms at the app on your cell phone, and maybe that could be it. But if I know doctors, and I know some of them in the past who they'll write you a prescription for anything. You know what I'm saying? If you're in good with them, you pay them right, make it sound realistic, they'll sign you a script for anything sometimes.
Very important. Device use is also required for emergency protocols at school, or if students are using district-issued tablets for educational purposes. Now, if you would like to know where your kid's school stands with their policies and enforcement, just scan this QR code on your screen. We have a list there that we continuously update as we get new information. I'm Daniela Guzman, KPRC 2 News.
So like I said, you heard my take on it. Like I said, I don't think kids should have devices at that age. I just don't. It creates a lot of problems for kids at that age. Like I said, if they want to mess around, like I said, if the parents don't like this new law, then what you do is you go get your kid a track phone. Then people say, I ain't got no money for a track phone. Well, sure, a lot of them kids, a lot of these parents who don't have no money, you can get like government assistance. You can get a government issued cell phone for free with no monthly payments. I don't think you can do a lot with it, but you can get a cell phone. So again, get your kids a track phone, if they still have them, or just a flip phone, or just a regular phone. All you can do is call. That's it. Call and text. That's all you need. Like I say, as long as it ain't out, but it still can't be out. But that way, if an emergency happens, or if your kid needs to call you, then they can use it. But as for just having it all day, because like the girl was talking about with they said they couldn't even use it during recess or lunchtime. And I saw a comment where someone said that's extreme. No, it's not. Have y'all looked at your kids lately? No, yeah, looked at your kids like thoroughly and compared them to when we were children. I go to schools, colleges, high schools, elementary, whatever, pick up kids, you know, children, grandchildren, whatever. And, or go there for like lunchtime or what have you. But hell, go to the movies, go to, where else do kids hang out at? I say movies for sure. And they'll just be sitting on their phone the whole time, scrolling. When you're picking them up from school and they outside, and all they doing is looking down at their phone. I done picked up a youngin', and she just sitting there looking at the phone the whole time, never looked up. Didn't look up until I called her. Well, I sent a text and I'm like, you coming or what? And she looks, oh, you should come run to the truck. It's like them phones, they are like hypnotic. They are addictive. It is messing up. It is jacking up the socialism for these youngsters. Everything that they do, everything they live and breathe by are based on them electronic devices. When they put post up, they're looking for validation and likes on their phones by their peers. If one of the peers say something they don't like or say they don't like, they post to talk about them. They get all upset, get mad. And then you see these videos where they, know what I'm saying, running up on somebody's house and now they fighting or deleting somebody. It's just, I think it's too much. But the issue is these kids do not know how to socialize. And lunchtime and gym time, not lunchtime and recess time, is the time that they're supposed to be socializing. They should be socializing with each other, learning how to talk to each other, with each other and interact with each other in a public setting. But if all they do, I remember the show The Jetsons back in the day, right? I mean, they had, kids with the people with the phone and they had like the watches where they can talk to people. But they wasn't sitting in the cartoon. They wasn't sitting there playing on them all the time. They were doing things. Like, that's probably what their vision was back then when they created these devices. Because I remember growing up, we had video games. We didn't get, like I said, didn't get pages. I didn't get like a cell phone until like I was grown. But we had different things to do. But we went outside, we rode bikes, we played sports, and we played video games. We played video games when we had to come in the house, when there was nothing to do. Now, we might play with homeboys every now and then, but we won't finna sit here and play video games all day, every day. We wanted to go outside, play basketball, football, ride bikes, do something. Go to the rec, do something, hang out with each other, go to the movies. Video games were just relegated for nighttime or early in the morning, or you at home not doing anything and you get bored, so you play video games until your favorite show come on and stuff. But now, like I said, it's the devices and stuff is 24/7, and it's messing with socialization. And these are supposed to be the future. You just think about it. I'm afraid like 10, 20 years from now, how society is going to be, because there will be no socialism. And I don't mean politically. I mean socializing in society at all. And that's going to be a problem. But I wanted to look at ChatGPT right quick and to see like what are the negative implications of kids having electronic devices at a young age. And it'll tell you physical health, like it causes sleep disruption and vision problems with prolonged usage, reduced physical activity, which is another reason why you got a bunch of overweight kids with bad health, poor posture, and repetitive strain, because they're always looking down. They all got their head down, looking at devices. I'm sure their thumbs are probably about the biggest Popeye, but it said with the cognitive development, shortened attention spans. That is true. People don't want to listen or see anything because most of these videos they see are like 7 seconds, 30 seconds. And then, like YouTube shorts, whatever, TikTok videos they scroll through. I think that's one reason why they're probably making these TikTok and X videos or TikTok videos longer. So that way you can do like at least 2-3 minutes. But they say people's attention span was already stuck at 7 minutes. So now you got videos that are like 30 seconds And you scroll to the next one. They don't have attention span. If it don't pique their interest, they just keep going. So how you think somebody gonna learn how to study like that? It said reduce problem solving and creativity. If entertainment is always fed to them, kids may do less imaginative play or creative thinking, which is probably why you got a bunch of remakes of all these movies nowadays, because these kids, these youngsters don't have no new thoughts. That's why the rappers rap about the same thing and it all sound the same, look the same, because everything is right there. All you gotta do is hit a button and it plays for you. Delayed language skills, yeah, I believe that. Social and emotional well-being, weaker social skills, increased risk of cyberbullying, comparison and self-esteem issues, emotional regulation problems. Yep, you got some very emotional people out there, youngsters for real out there. See, parents need to see this, not just see a law and then get pissed off because I need to talk to my child. And my child gonna start crying if they can't talk to me. Your child care less about you. Safety and exposure. Well, they should. When they're at school, they shouldn't be worried about their parents. They should be worried about playing with their kids. I mean, not their kids, playing with their friends and their peers and learning. That's it. Not worrying about a parent. Safety and exposure risk, inappropriate content. Yep, needs to be a lot of time. You got a bunch of predators who out here preying on these children, on these online sites, on these online games and stuff like that. And it happens a lot. Predator contact, privacy risk, family and relationship impact. Reduce parent-child bonding. Shoot, I remember when I was a kid, I used to stay in my room all the time, probably watching TV or on the phone with some girl or something like that, or writing rap songs or doing something. But now, shoot, you can be in the same room with somebody trying to quote unquote bond with the child, and you watching TV and they are on their phone. That's why I like at dinner table, I don't allow electronic devices at the dinner table. If you're gonna sit down with me, if you go out to eat, go to a movie, I don't like it. I always turn mine off and leave it in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Cause when we around each other like that, it's supposed to be us time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it either. They say conflict over rules, what they say, device limits can become a source of ongoing power struggles. See? Because kids are emotional. You can't tell them nothing. Isolation. Kids might retreat into devices instead of engaging with family or peers in person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to limit these cell phones, like for real though. That just goes without saying, man. And like I said, I don't have no problem with the kids not having cell phones. You know what I'm saying? More power to the schools trying to get back their children. They understand there's a problem, and that's what I like to see. When someone understands there's a problem and they try to find a solution to fix it. I'm sure they thought about this for a while and try to figure out if they can think of another way to do it. And they said, this is the only way we can do it. So we got to implement the rule. Now, I say it starts September 1st, but I know a lot of schools, they already starting to put it in now so they can start, rolling it in now so they can, get the kinks out of it. So by the time September 1st hit, everything is running smoothly, because that's the thing about, like I said, laws like this. Once it rolls in, you got to be going. You ain't got no time to be sitting here figuring stuff out. You just got to do it. So, like I say, shout out to all the schools out here, especially in Texas. I like it. But tell me what you think about this. You know what I'm saying? Leave your comments below, share it with the world. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple minutes of your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.